Prop 32, political contributions by payroll deduction. Ruth.
Thank you, Dorothy. You're probably all quite familiar with Proposition 32 by now. It's an initiative statute that will affect the ability of unions and corporations to use money from employee payroll deductions for political purposes. And it'll also affect their ability to contribute money to political candidates. In the text of the proposed law, again in that big fat book that we've all received, the official voter information guide, this initiative is referred to as the Stop Special Interest Money Now Act. This is one of those propositions that is not necessarily what it seems, which means that we need to know and understand what we're voting for. So what would Proposition 32 do if it passes? It would do three things. First, it would prohibit unions from using payroll deducted funds for political purposes. That is, from trying to influence voters to support or oppose political candidates, or for political office in the state, or to support or oppose any ballot measure, such as this one, or for other political purposes. Prop 32 would apply the same prohibition to payroll deductions, if any, by corporations. Note that these restrictions, however, would not prohibit an employee from making voluntary contributions to a candidate or to a committee that's sponsored by his or her employer or her union, nor would it prohibit an employer or a union from using payroll deductions for political purposes with the employee's written consent, but the consent would have to be obtained at least once a year. Second, Prop 32 would prohibit unions and corporations from making direct contributions to state, but not federal, candidates and to their committees. Contributions to political action committees, PACs, are not covered by this prohibition because PACs are assumed to be not under the direct influence or control of the candidates. Third, Prop 32 would prohibit government contractors from making contributions to elected officials who may be in a position to have some influence over the granting or the administration of their contract, at least during a specified period. So who's going to be most affected by these restrictions? First of all, with respect to the payroll deductions, we know that many, if not most, unions use funds that they obtain in this way to contribute to candidates' campaigns and to ballot measures and for other political expenditures. By the way, slightly more than 17% of California workers belong to unions. In contrast, only about 1% of corporations and other organizations use payroll deductions for political purposes. Instead, they use their own funds from their profits or other sources, business accounts. So this part of the Proposition 32 clearly affects, overwhelmingly affects unions and not corporations. Now, with respect to contributions to candidates, Prop 32's restrictions on both corporate and union contributions would not apply to other entities, such as limited liability companies, limited partnerships, real estate trusts, political action committees, and independent expenditure committees, all of which are exempt. What will Prop 32 cost if it passes? It's hard to say, but the State Attorney General's office estimates it could cost about $1 million or more per year to administer for investigating possible violations and responding to requests for information and advice. Now, what do the proponents of Prop 32 claim, and who are they? Supporters claim that the passage of Prop 32 will do three things. First, stop money from being deducted from employees' paychecks for political purposes without their permission. Two, stop contractors from contributing to politicians who are in a position to approve their contracts. And three, stop special interest groups in general from influencing state politicians with their contributions. A retired California State Supreme Court judge and one of the initiators of Prop 32 says in the official voter information guide quote, Prop 32 ends corporate and union contributions to California politicians, period. No exemptions. Prop 32 is obviously then being promoted as an anti-corruption, anti-special initiative, special interest initiative. Now, where does the money for Proposition 32 come from? As of September 30th, supporters have contributed a total of about $9 million in support of Prop 32. 55% of these funds come from within California and the rest are coming from out of state. Topping the list of the 10 largest contributors is a PAC called the American Future Fund, which is difficult to identify online. It's one of these mysterious organizations. It gave $4 million. 5 individual donors contributed between $250,000 and $1 million each. And the remaining top 10 contributors are the Lincoln Club of Orange County, the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, and the Citizen Power Campaign. And you can see who these contributors are on the website votersedge.org. Prop 32 is endorsed by a variety of small business organizations, chambers of commerce, taxpayers associations, and individuals, and by papers, a few newspapers such as the San Diego Union Tribune, Bakersfield Californian, and the Orange County Register. And finally, what do people who want us to vote no on Prop 32 claim, and who are they? First, opponents claim that Prop 32 is not a balanced initiative, although the prohibitions on the political use of funds obtained from payroll deductions is worded to appear to apply equally to both unions and corporations. It would affect the ability of unions, but not corporations, to raise funds for political purposes. Second, the opponents are pointing out that union members are currently able to opt out of making political contributions if they wish. Moreover, similar initiatives have been on the state ballot before and were defeated, so this really is an unnecessary initiative. And third, with respect to political contributions, opponents point out that the financial entities such as those that I mentioned earlier, including super PACs supported by businesses, are exempted from these restrictions, and that they can contribute unlimited funds to PACs thanks to the, and candidates through PACs, not candidates through PACs, but to the PACs, thanks to the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United. So finally, where does the money come from for no on 32? As of September 30th, opponents contributed over $45 million to defeat Proposition 32. So it's a huge contribution. 90% of the money comes from within California. Among the top 10 contributors, not surprisingly, 9 are unions. 1 is an individual. California Teachers Association heads the top 10 list, followed by the Service Employees International Union, AFSCME, California Professional Firefighters, California School Employees, and 4 others. Organizations opposing Prop 32 include not only unions, but also conservation groups, consumer organizations, and political groups, both partisan and nonpartisan. Public signers of the official arguments in opposition to Prop 32 include, among others, the California Democratic Party, California Common Cause, and the California League of Women Voters. The LA Times, San Francisco Chronicle, Oakland Tribune, and Sacramento Bee all endorsed a no vote on Prop 32. So, any questions? Yes?
If this passes, how does it fit in with the Supreme Court Citizens United ruling?
It doesn't affect the Citizens United ruling at all, which affects the ability of organizations and individuals to contribute to the political action funds, which are not direct contributions to political candidates or issues. Yeah, so it really leaves that whole